Hello everyone, welcome to PHTV Channel 4 in Palos Heights. I'm Sue Jankowski, and today we are around Palos with our friend Jill Stetson, who comes to us from Skin Trust. Jill, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too, Sue. Good to be here.
I really mean that, because Jill and I got together in November, but it was brief and not as relaxed as we're feeling right now.
Correct.
So things have changed out in the world a little bit, and we're really happy to have Jill back in the studio here again.
And it's good to be here.
You know, we've talked about skincare with Jill on various programs, and she's always so informative and so gives us so much great information. And today we're going to talk about skin in the summer. And you know, every season poses its own challenges, and summer, of course, is the time we're really outside and really enjoying the fresh air and the summer sun and wind and all the things that could possibly impact our skin. So Jill's going to just give us a great reminder about some of the things we can do to protect ourselves and keep our skin looking great. So Jill, I'm excited, because I think everybody wants to take care of their skin, and everybody's like, okay, well, I forgot the sunscreen, or should I put on sunscreen, or what can I do to make it okay? So I guess we'll just get started on, you know, sun products. I mean, there's a million of them. You go in, I know some aren't great and some are better than others, and you just look at the wall of sunscreen and sun products and you think, well, I don't know.
And you're totally overwhelmed by it all.
This one's pretty.
That's how we make a lot of our decisions. No, it's very interesting, because what you do for your skin in the winter and summer, it's very different. Summer's more forgiving. The humidity level is higher, you don't need as much moisturizer, but you still want to protect your skin. And frankly, the one common element between winter and summer is protect your skin from the sun. 1 out of 5 Americans before the age of 70 will have skin cancer. And that's not it. That you don't want to be in those statistics, and that's not. So when we're talking today, it's not just about the cosmetic or the beauty aspect of it, it's also about the health aspect. So let me do just a couple reminders, and I know we do this, but I work with people every day, and it's helpful to remind people about sunscreen. Sunscreen is used every day on everyone in every place that's exposed. Okay. So that can just be a little bit of a reminder. And you know, we talk about more people of our generation and our age group, but mothers, grandmothers, your grandchildren, your children, they need to be protected with a sunscreen. And for you who are gardening, you're an extended sun, this is a rule that everyone hates, and I don't blame you for it. And we'll talk about some ways to work with it, not get around it, because you don't get around it. You have to reapply every 90 minutes. And if you read your sunscreen, it's going to tell you how long that sun protection factor is effective. And I've seen products from 40 minutes to 90 minutes. You also only need a sun protection factor of between 30 and 50. Broad spectrum, sun protection factor of 30 to 50. If you really look at the data, the incremental protection you get between 50 and 100 is not worth the chemicals that you put on your skin. So that brings me to the kinds of sunscreens. So there's physical, that means they block it. Those rays are not going into your skin. And there's chemical, where chemicals are in that sunscreen and they're going to absorb the sun so it doesn't get into your skin and cause harm. Now, the chemical ones tend to be more sensitive on skin, and they are the ones where people have problems using them. I get a lot of times people will say, oh, well, this sunscreen irritates my skin, I can't wear it. And there's truth to that. Those chemicals can cause that. And then you have the physical, which really is your better answer. The ingredients to look for there, titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. And right now, I would tell people, use those ingredients, because the FDA, and it's interesting, we may have talked about this on the show, but in 2013, FDA started to regulate sunscreens. They don't regulate any other skincare product. So United States standards are very different than European standards, but they do on the sunscreens. Now the FDA is investigating 12 of those chemical ingredients that are used on skin, because they're concerned about if they're being absorbed in your skin, are there any harmful side effects? And I think that's really good, because if there are, let them do the research on it, let them get that information back out to us so that we understand. So if you have any concerns about that, then stay with the sunscreen that's a titanium dioxide, a zinc oxide, They can be separate or they can be used in combination, and that you're physical and you don't even worry about the chemicals then. And I'm very, very glad that the FDA is taking that project on, and we'll keep people informed on their findings.
So is one more like effective? Is that why people may choose the chemical over the physical?
Not necessarily, because many of them are the same in terms of being between the 30 and 50. And I think when you get into the chemical ones, they can go 50 and plus. They will say, we'll give you more sun protection factor, but that's why I say, but you're putting more chemicals on your skin. So
and it's really not necessary.
It's not necessary.
After 50, you're covered.
It's really not necessary at all. A couple other things to talk about too, and we'll come back to the reapplication of it, is the spray sunscreens. A lot of people like them for your body. They're not as effective. You just don't get the coverage. It's a spray, so it hits and goes. Where a cream is absorbed, you really rub that into your skin, and that's better. So that's something to really comment on. I think also that people are concerned about their vitamin D levels. COVID made us even more concerned about that because vitamin D is known to help fight that. But what I say to people is, sun, and the research shows that you can be safely in the sun 10 to 20 minutes, 2 to 3 times a week to enhance your vitamin D. No more. I say cut it back to maybe 2 times a week and use your sunscreens. Because there is that flip side. If I'm always blocking the sun, am I getting my vitamin D? So you can obviously supplement your vitamin D, but some people do like to get it through the sun. So that may be an issue.
So you can feel good about going out in the sun 10 to 15 minutes a couple times.
10 to 20 minutes
and just, you know, I've heard, and I don't know if this is true, but you really need to have you can't just have your face in the sun. You need like your arms, your legs out in the sun absorbing that. Otherwise, it's not really
correct. It's not really doing it. And I would suggest that too. Have your arms and legs be the ones that are catching the sun, and then cut it though. Be very careful. Don't overextend that. So it brings us to the real challenge of SPF reapplying. If an SPF is only good for 90 minutes, and really now, I didn't mention this, but they're water resistant, they're not waterproof. I don't know technically what the real difference is between that, but they have changed the language on that. But the real issue is, oh my gosh, I have my makeup on, I don't want to reapply a sunscreen. Or I forget to reapply. That's when I work with people. And it's a challenge. It's true. It's a very big challenge. So the companies are getting smarter about this. So I brought a product today that is really fun. This is from Jane Iredale, and it's a brand of makeup that I carry. However, with that said, there are other manufacturers that make this product too, and this is what is considered a dry physical sunscreen.
Oh.
And it is a powder, it's a mineral powder, and it comes in this container, and you actually, and it's a very, very soft brush, you brush it on your skin. So if you need to reapply because you have makeup on, you brush it on your skin. Here's the other issue too, and this is for men and women, but I'm going to focus on a woman's issue now. A lot of times people will say, well, my makeup has SPF in it.
I was going to bring that up. Yes.
And that's wonderful.
Right.
But you don't put your makeup on your neck.
Well, that's true. You don't. Well, that's perfect.
And then you can do this. Yeah. The other issue that's lovely with this, people will get sun in their scalp and in their hairline. You can put it in there too. Now, this is a translucent powder that I have in here, and the brush is there, and then there's a cartridge that you change. Oh. And when you purchase this, you get 2 additional cartridges. This is translucent. You can also get it in different shades depending upon your skin coloration. And you can do this. And this is so easy to carry in your purse.
It really is. That's pretty cool.
This is really, really fun. And so they call this a dry SPF. And it's been a wonderful, and they just introduced it last fall. I started introducing it into Skin Trust this spring. But as I said, there are other companies that have it too. And this is titanium dioxide. So that is the sunblock that's being used in it.
Okay, one of the ones you mentioned.
Yeah,
okay.
so this takes care, and I've talked to so many people, and when we put this out, I said this takes care of the reapplication issue. No excuses now. But it's for you. And the other two characteristics that I like are three. It's lightweight. It will not form in creases at all, and it's has boron nitrate in it, and that sounds like a dangerous word. It's really not at all. It's found in mineral makeup to give a very soft focus to your skin. So you're not just applying powder, you're putting minerals on that are finely formulated with a very soft effect to them.
Okay, so it's very usable.
It's very usable. The other skincare product that is related to sun, because I still get people, and there are still people who love the sun. You know, they love their tans. And I know tans are beautiful if you have that kind of skin. So what I try to do is work with people to say, okay, you have it, but let's help you with that. Europe is a little different than America. And this is a line, it's called Guinot. But this is an after sun lotion. So what you do, if you get it, and it could be anybody, it could just be you forgetting to reapply your sunscreen, and you're out in the sun, you're having a good time, you don't really want to worry, you forget about it. But you come in and you're like, oh my God, I really got a lot of sun exposure. You can put this on, and it will neutralize the sun rays that have gone into your skin.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's
And
cool.
it will help prevent aging issues with your skin, and it hydrates and it nourishes.
Wow.
And I'm not a sunbather, so it's not a good product for me, but I have a friend who is, and she tried it and she loved it.
So you've been out, you've been overexposed, you put this on your face or any areas that you feel like, and you don't have to worry about. What about if you actually got a burn with,
you'd want
out
it,
in the sun?
I'd put this on, but I probably would put something else on top of it too.
Okay.
I would neutralize things, and then I would try to heal on top of that. So it's a good question. I would do that.
Okay.
I would do that. And they have this. This is a lotion, but they're also coming out with a mask, so you can actually leave on your face too. But I think that just trying to educate people and trying to take away what happens to the sun, that's a very good product. The other thing that I didn't bring up is clothing. There's clothing that is treated with ingredients, with different items. And I don't really know exactly what goes into them, but you can buy them online. And if you are a gardener, if you're going to go to the beach, I know I have friends who go to the beach quite a bit. They wear those. Or you're out riding your bicycle, and the clothing. So you really can take care of those exposed areas, and I think that's really important. Those are all the things that you can do to really help your skin.
Yeah, that is great. Actually, I bought a hat even that had that sun, not just
sun protection.
Yeah, in the hat. It was like the clothing, but it was a hat instead, and that was very helpful, actually.
I think that's good. You know, the other thing I didn't mention, I don't think, is that this is a 30 sun protection factor in it. So that gives you the complete protection. Really, the FDA says you can do anything from a 15 to a 50, and I think that 30 ends at an excellent place.
Those sound like great ideas. Now, are these products, I know you carry these products, but are they easy to find?
They are easy to find. You can buy this one online at Jane Iredale's website. You can get it through anyone like me who carries them. This you have to go to a Guinot dealer. And as I said, when I was researching this as well, I found other lines, and they were good. I read the ingredients in them. I think the A-Zone is another product that has this type of product. And they had a good amount of, I like the sun, they had the physical block in it. They didn't have the boron nitrate in it, but they had the physical blocks, which is really most important.
Okay.
So you can find other ones out online.
Excellent. Okay. So now, use antioxidants. Now, vitamin C. I have a serum that has vitamin C in it. So is that something you really want to use more in the summer, winter, both?
Well, it's a good question, because vitamin C is one of the best ingredients for skin, and it's good as an antioxidant. And what that means is it's going to protect your skin from the environment. So it's going to protect your skin from pollution. It's going to enhance the effectiveness of your sunscreen. You never wear it as a sunscreen, but it will enhance the effectiveness of the sunscreen. But it also stimulates collagen.
Oh, okay.
And so we like those things that help
do.
us keep our collagen that we start to lose when we're 25, very slowly, but that, keeps what we have. So it's a product to use all year.
Okay, so if you don't have it, start looking for it.
Yeah.
It's going to help you.
Yeah.
Okay, so all of this sunscreen may take its toll on our skin too. Though I'm wondering, can you buy a sunscreen that is also a moisturizer? Are they moisturizers?
You can. It's a good question. You absolutely can. The sunscreens have gotten, there are so many for sure, but they've gotten much more sophisticated. So they have antioxidants in them. They can be, and many times what I'll say to people is use your sunscreen as your daytime moisturizer. You don't need another moisturizer. Winter, you do. Summer, you don't. And yes, they make them so they're very hydrating.
Okay, so that's good. You can kind of kill two birds with one stone.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're doing this though. Does this take a toll on our skin? Are we looking as good as we could, even though we're trying, keeping the sun away and all of that?
It's a good question too. Do you know what happens? Our skin becomes dull. And I think it's a lot of sunscreen, which is important to have. So one of the nice things, or one of the better things you can do for your skin at home is exfoliate. And exfoliate 2 to 3 times a week. It should be your second cleanse at night. You exfoliate your skin and you're going to get all those dead skin cells that probably have been absorbing all of your sunscreen, which you want. Get them off of your skin and bring your brightness back.
Oh, just get that exfoliation going.
Yep.
Okay. What about like some of the at-home masks you can do? Does that help brighten your skin?
They do, and that's a great question too. The masks are making a comeback. It's very interesting. I've been in skincare now for 11 years, and professional treatments we always do a mask. And if you go in for a facial, the mask is one of the last steps before finishing products are put on. And they're wonderful because they're highly concentrated with ingredients, and it gives your skin like this burst of all these wonderful ingredients. And most masks you will leave on for 10 minutes. And so they are making a comeback. What's been happening over the last 2 to 3 years, and very popular and they're very effective, are the sheet mask, where it's not a cream and you don't put it on and let it sit on your skin and then take it off. You put this sheet mask over and it's just infused with all these wonderful ingredients that then penetrate your skin. And now the newest thing with masks are overnight masks.
Oh.
Well,
how do you do that?
Well, it's a lovely thing.
Don't move.
Well, it's more of a cream base again,
okay.
But they are chock full of wonderful ingredients that either brighten or nourish. The exfoliating mask you don't want to put on all night. Usually they're antioxidants, they're brightening, they're hyaluronic acid, they're moisturizing, and you put them on your face, your neck, and your décolleté, and you go to sleep.
Okay, and you wake up in the morning?
And you wake up in the morning,
Different
your skin
person.
is so soft. Well, and we do the restorative work at night.
Right.
So to give your skin this really concentrated boost at night is a wonderful thing to do. There's also a stem cell mask that's out there called the beauty mask that you sleep in. So you get hydration, but you get, it almost stimulates your cells to do more. It's the best way to say it. So, but the premise is that these masks that you can sleep in are becoming very popular. I don't recommend sleeping in a sheet mask.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Just don't plan on moving all night.
That would be, or it'd be down here and droopy, and you wake up in the morning, you wonder what's over your mouth, and
what happened?
And you might frighten someone the next morning. If not yourself, someone else.
Oh, okay.
But they're wonderful. And it was interesting because masks in general were not popular. Now they're coming back, and it makes sense. So when you think of summer skin, and maybe you've just had a lot of sun and fun, but you just want to get that brightness, you're maybe a little dehydrated, you want to get that moisture back in, it's a wonderful way to do it.
Okay. Well, I kind of feel like during this whole period of time where we've been, just kind of under lock and key, for lack of a better word. Either you have done a lot for your skin because you had more time, perhaps, or
True.
Or you just went, I'm just not going to do anything.
I
So
know.
either way, this is great advice. Now, what about the rest of yourself? Of course, our face takes a lot of beating with the sun and wind and humidity and all of that, but we all have the rest of our body that, especially in the summer, it's exposed to the elements.
Well, and we talked about it, and you reminded me of something I forgot to say. Our hands, we forget to we forget to use sunscreen on our hands, and that's very important. And what I recommend is take a small bottle of sunscreen and keep it in your car so that you always have it. That's the one thing that I've neglected, my hands. And I see it that my skin has aged much differently on my hands than my face because I didn't protect it. I'd get in my car, I'd forget to put my sunscreen on. There's also wonderful hand lotions out there now that are available that have an SPF in them, which are good. Put a little bottle of that in your car so when you get in your car and just say, oh my gosh, I forgot, you have it. And
That's
there
a great
you are.
idea.
Now, rest of your body, you know, it's really the same as your face. Exfoliate.
Oh, yeah, true.
Get the dead off. You know, dry brush, we've talked about that on the show before.
Right.
Take a soft but firm bristled brush and just move up towards you're always moving up towards your heart. You can do it on your arms, your legs, your tush. Don't necessarily do it on your torso because it's a little bit too harsh. Dry brush, jump in the shower, get out, put a lovely oil like a jojoba oil on, put a nice body moisturizer on. That will do a lot for your skin.
Okay, that's a great idea. I love the oils after showers
I
too,
do
because
too.
they really do a great
Well,
job.
and now we're wearing clothes, sleeveless tops, shorts. We're showing a little bit more skin.
Right.
You know, we want to get in better shape than perhaps we kept it over the winter.
Yes, we do. You know, I've got another question too that, you know, we probably talked about it before, but just refresh my memory. So you want a tan.
Mm-hmm.
So you go out and buy a product that tans you.
Oh, a self-tanner. Uh-huh.
Is that a good idea? Are there chemicals in there we shouldn't be doing? Is that probably yes? Yeah.
There are chemicals. I don't think there's anything that's terribly harmful, but it's like anything else, and especially if you buy an over-the-counter product that's not necessarily vetted by a manufacturer, be careful. Don't use it all the time. I think occasionally it's fine to do.
Okay.
I think occasionally.
Because sometimes, you know, you're like, oh, you know, I'm going to be wearing shorts. My legs
know.
look kind of
And
pale.
I will occasionally do that because I'm not a sunbather. And if I want to put on a pair of shorts, I will put a self-tanner on and use it.
Okay.
But I don't do it.
But not all the time.
No, I don't
Okay.
do it all the
We
time.
won't do that all the
And
time.
if you do use a self-tanner, be sure and exfoliate before because then it will go on much smoother.
Okay.
And it's important for that because
Yeah.
you don't want to have striped legs.
Besides the dry brushing, what about like some of these sugar scrubs and
They're fine for
that
your body.
you can do that?
Yes,
Yeah.
not face.
No, they're pretty.
They're coarse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, that's
They're
the word.
fine for your body.
Okay, because those are kind of fun. They smell good.
And they
They're
are.
fun
Yeah,
to do.
I would agree.
Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about teens because I feel like, you know, that's a good place to start with your skincare. And just before we got started, Jill and I were talking a little bit about, you know, we have so many products available now that I didn't have when I was
Nor did
growing
I.
up, and we didn't actually have the information about taking care of skin. So
Agree.
now your teenager can actually take care of their skin a little bit better than you could take care of your skin.
Mm-hmm.
So what should teens be thinking about and doing at this point?
I think the most important, there's two, and the research would show this, there's two things that are really important for teens. One is to have a regimen, simple though, very simple. And two, to focus on what they're actually consuming in terms of food. Those seem to be the two things that will help them have clearer skin. And research shows that they desire, well, one of the most important things for them is to have clear skin. And doesn't that just make sense?
Yes.
They're
yes.
developing their confidence, they're getting to know themselves, they want to have clear skin. And unfortunately, at the same time they want to have clear skin, hormones can play a big role.
Right.
And that can just wreak havoc on your skin. However, also just eating processed foods, sugar, artificial sweeteners, that will all have an impact on skin. I mean, it does for us too, but in particular it does for the teens, and those are things that they can start to control. So I say for the teens, and I've been working more and more with teens, educate them on the skin type they have. Are they oily? Are they dry? Are they combo? And a lot of that is just looking at their pores and looking at their skin. Are they dehydrated? A lot of that can be caused by processed foods too. And then educate them on, given their skin type, what are the key ingredients that they should use? And then how do they use products? And all they really need, a cleanser, a moisturizer, exfoliate, like we just talked, even for their skin, once to twice a week, and an SPF. That is all they need. Wintertime, maybe add a little bit more moisture, because everybody needs to add a little bit more moisture. But it's interesting, Sue, all the myths that are out there and what kids think. And when I say kids, I'm more the teenager category, because they think, oh, if I scrub my skin more, it'll help. Tanning beds are good. No. Big X on nose. Cancer causing. If I have breakout prone skin, I shouldn't put a moisturizer on it. Wrong. There are moisturizers with moisture in them. Not oil, but moisture. If I leave my makeup on at night, it's okay. No. Studies have shown that that is the best way to cause premature aging, but more importantly for a teenager is that will cause blackheads.
Oh, that's so
and if
good.
you were a chronic abuser of that, it will cause blackheads. So those are some of the things. And what worries me about the teenagers is they have access to so much information. So you said they have access to products, but they have information to all these myths that are out there.
Yeah. So they don't know which to believe.
They don't know which to believe.
Not.
And then they start dabbling and they start trying. And I worry that they might do something that would hurt their skin. So as an esthetician, we will just gently guide them. And once they know what skin type they have and what ingredients, go at it. They love to be on their phones. They love to find products, but give them some guidance and some direction. And I think that's very important.
It is. And, so many of the things that you said, this, scrubbing your face and all that, we grew up with better scrub your face, all the time.
Oh, how about having blemishes and putting alcohol on your skin?
Yes.
Thinking that, that was
They'll
the way.
dry it up.
That's right. We'll just dry it up. And but it's a great investment for a teenager, because it's an investment in the health of their skin the rest of their life. They're not going to need the bells and whistles, and you and I were talking about it. They're not going to need the bells and whistles that we have needed, because we didn't know. We didn't protect ourselves from the sun in the same way. I mean, I think I said this before. I remember my mom using C and Ski on me. Who knows what was in that?
Baby oil with iodine, I think is what we were putting
Copper
on.
tone. That's what but we didn't have anything else. And then we didn't have the products to negate what the sun had done to us. And so the teenagers are lucky that they have wonderful things out there, but how do you guide them through that plethora of products that are out there?
Right. They need a little bit of education, not just looking at a site that's selling that product.
Correct.
They need actual professional advice about it.
It is, and so I said those would be the basics that I do, and that's what I do to help them. And then they can go on their own, but give them the basics to guide them through that maze of information that's out there. And I think the other thing is help them with their diet. Avoid the processed foods as much as you can, and I know that's hard. Avoid sugar as much as you can. Avoid the sweeteners. All of that, it causes inflammation. It can really change the chemistry of your body. So it's really important. And some of the foods that are really good, that hopefully they like, apples. Apples are one of the best foods that you can eat for your skin. And even for us too, because it hydrates, it helps our lymphatic system work better. Berries are really good. They're an antioxidant. They brighten our skin. Cucumbers are good, because they cool. Like cool as a cucumber, remember that phrase?
Right.
Well, it comes from that. It really cools your system. And the last one is celery. It's an antioxidant, and it really flushes out the body.
Wow, celery just seems like kind of like a
I know, you think,
anything.
there's no nutritional value
No.
in that, but it's very helpful. And there is a physician, Dr. Mark Hyman, and he's very much out on social media, and he's very much into wellness, and I think he says it the best. If it's man-made, avoid it. If it's God-made, eat it.
Oh, that's easy to remember.
That's easy, yeah.
Yes. And I think that parents are a lot more cognizant of health and nutrition than, when I was raising my children
that's
or
true,
my
too.
parents were raising children.
I think you're
my
right.
grandchildren are eating red peppers and hummus and avocados and stuff on a regular basis.
Which are all wonderful.
I never gave my children those things. So this is good.
I know I did not have an avocado growing up.
No. I don't even know if they was in the grocery stores at that point. It
I don't think they
probably
were in
wasn't.
mine.
No. So, well, Jill, thank you so much for all this great information. And, you can get a hold of Jill over at the Skin Trust if you have more questions. Or I just think, it's a great opportunity to take your youngster, your teenage person, male or female, in your house and get that introduction. And then it's not like you have to keep doing it. It's just like, here's some education for you.
Yes.
It will help you all your life, and you can get started now. That seems like a really good thing to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sue.
I always think it's great. I always learn something from Jill. And I go home and I relook at my products and I actually use them.
Very good.
Sometimes they just sit there and you think,
know.
I'll get to that. But now I
know.
really will get to it.
But it's a pleasure being here. Thank you.
Thanks, Jill. And thanks for watching us. We will see you next time around Payless. Bye.